Kiwi. What's going on, Kiwi from Sacramento? Actually, like my big brother, my big uncle, you know, seeing me like this here, like a little boy. He used to throw the football too.
Hey y'all,
Kiwi, what's happening?
we're gonna talk about this book today, so y'all make sure you tune in, okay? Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Siobhan Noel, and we are live in the lab on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. And this is Ronnie Loves Love. Welcome back. Happy Sunday, everybody. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you for joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are a regular, I appreciate you. Couldn't do it without you. And thank you. Thank you for tuning in. So, per usual, we have amazing guests. And my co-host just arrived. Hey, Deontay. Hey.
What's happening? What's happening? It's wet out there.
It's ugly, y'all. It's ugly. We also have author and entrepreneur extraordinaire in the building, Mr. Jay Wellsby. Hello, Jay. How are you, dear?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm well. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey, man, you know, hey, this is a long time coming.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Well, it's my pleasure to have you on for your very, very first radio interview. I'm so glad you chose to do it with Bonnie in the City on Hits 92.3. Thank you, thank you.
Only mess with the real.
Oh. Well, for our intro today, I have a few things I wanted to touch on. We always talk about Black businesses, and sometimes people give us a hard time. Some of it might be rightfully so, but sometimes I think people just giving people a rough time just because I'm like, if you go to Macy's and you go to a lot of these other major corporations, sometimes you have an unpleasant experience, but we keep going back, don't we?
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm just like, why are we so quick to give our own? We have our own under so much scrutiny. So I wanted to shout out a few that I had an amazing experience with this weekend. As you all know, I lost my grandmother, and I chose a few different people for all the services. So first and foremost, we went with Willie Watkins Funeral Home, Black owned. They were absolutely amazing, amazing. So I wanted to
That's
just
great.
yes, notate them. But I really want to kind of just shed some love or some light on Mr. Richmond Punch. He's a violinist, and he's played for Congressman John Lewis's memorial service, George Floyd's, and a couple other very influential people. He's played at the Capitol, just all over the place. So he's an extraordinary person. He's great in what he does. I mean, he's the truth. He's an amazing artist, and I had the pleasure of having him at my grandmother's funeral to play.
Wow, that's big.
Yes,
That's
and
big.
so not only because of he's renowned and recognized, his fee is a little pricey. He told me to give him what I can.
Really?
Yes. So not only
Wow.
did he, not just turn me away or whatnot for little old Siobhan, but he was professional. He was on time. I gave him his money up front, and I was a little bit leery because, sometimes people get the money and run. That was not my experience. I called him the morning of to see if he had made it. He was already in the chapel playing,
Wow.
set up. He was suited and
Professional.
booted. He looked amazing. He came. He was professional. His wife joined him. I mean, he really rolled out the red carpet, y'all. I mean, he didn't give me a discounted performance. He gave me the real deal.
See, and that's what's awesome. And
Yes.
going into what you're saying about our businesses, most of the time, it seems like we forget about how we got there.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And
Absolutely.
I'm not down in none of our business. I'm telling you right now, go support anyone you know of. But what I'm saying is, a lot of the ones that I know personally or that I've encountered or I was trying to support in the grassroots stages,
Yeah.
it seems like once they got to that one level where it was like, okay, I got a certain amount rolling in, I can, I don't know, because once an a-hole, then I guess always a butthole.
Right, right.
So I guess the money, so I guess that started to come out once you felt like you didn't need someone, and then later on some of those businesses they crumble. But what I'm just trying to say is, I think we need to keep that integrity and stay focused and stay grounded on who got us where we are.
Right,
Yes, in these
absolutely.
black businesses.
Yes.
I think a lot of them can go a lot further if we just remember how we got where we are.
There you go. There you go. So I don't have him scheduled just yet, but he will be on Hits 92.3. He will join
cool.
us.
That's dope.
He will be bringing his instrument. He will be,
Wow.
all that. So I cannot wait to have him. Um, sometime next month, for the month of September. So you guys please stay tuned. You all follow him. Follow Richmond Punch. He's amazing. He's amazing. I mean, he really just, wowed me. It was really amazing. So you guys make sure you check him out, if nothing else. But anywho, how was y'all's weekend? How was your weekend, Deontay? How about yours, Jay?
Go ahead, Jay.
Well, I cut hair, so
Yes.
I cut hair. I hustle on Lyft sometimes. I basically use Lyft as a way to sell my books. So I did that. This morning I woke up. I'm going over the edit of the new book, Change Part
Book number
2.
2, yes.
So I'm pretty much a workaholic. I try to have fun when I can, but I'm so focused on my dreams right now. So being ambitious was my weekend.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Well, we definitely gonna hit on your book, but tell everybody how to reach you for your barber services, because you're a master barber, right?
Yes, I am.
You're amazing at that as well. So
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate
so
it.
so tell the people how they can find you, come schedule an appointment, get the lineups, all that kind of good stuff.
Um, the barbershop that I work at is Telemade Barbershop. It's located on 549 Joseph B. Lowry, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia. You can make an appointment with me at 786-260-4651. I promise you come out that barbershop, you don't feel like a
Now,
Right.
also tell people how to follow you so they can see your work.
On Instagram, I'm up under Jerry the Barber. That's THE instead of DA, how everybody else is spelling it. Period, Barber. So it's Jerry the, hold on. It's Jerry the Barber.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right,
Mine
perfect.
like that.
All right, and how was your weekend, Mr. Deontay?
So my weekend, Friday it didn't go good.
No.
Well, it was just weird. I felt like things was off for me. It wasn't all the way crazy like that, but
Okay.
it just wasn't my regular Friday. My regular Friday is sunny in my mind, whether it's sunny outside or not.
Right,
Because it's just Friday, and I'm
right.
about to get my time to myself or my family or whatever.
Yeah.
But my equilibrium was off, and then it didn't help none when I thought to go get my little $5 smoothie,
Uh-huh.
and I got I think it's called the Daily Warrior,
Okay.
and they put a little bit too much peanut butter, and that peanut butter take over
I
your
saw
smoothie.
you mention
Man,
that on social media.
it didn't help
So
me at
I'm
all.
like, what kind of peanut butter smoothie he got?
They just put a little bit too much, so I ain't get what I wanted from that, because that was supposed to make me a little happier or put me on point a little bit.
Okay.
But Saturday I had marriage counseling for the
Okay.
first time.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
everybody keeps saying.
I think so.
Everybody keeps saying that.
Okay.
It was
You
well
beg to
needed.
differ, or
Huh?
do you beg to differ, or you didn't think it was exciting?
It was exciting.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was exciting. Nobody tells you etiquette on how you're supposed to act when you're in there. So
Okay.
in the first visit, when both parties feel like they got a lot to say, I would
Oh.
say that the counselor felt like it was exciting too.
Okay.
She, she kept wanting to say certain things, and she wanted to make sure she said it right. And so I had to tell her, hey, just be a straight shooter.
Okay.
If we're gonna be coming in here, we want you to be blunt. You see, we blunt.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was exciting.
Okay. Well,
And
cool.
so today was a family day. No
Yeah.
negativity. I really just laid around. I can't even lie. Played
I
some
did
Call of
too.
Duty. and just laid around.
Okay.
And it was sunny until it was time to come here.
I know. Then the roof fell open. I was just
Yeah.
like, okay, now wait a minute. Got my toes out and stuff, like I'm dressed for a
It was-
sunny day.
I can't complain about it.
Okay,
I can't complain
cool.
about
Yeah, I was skiing through the rain.
I can't do it. I'm scared.
Yeah,
You see, I put my
was
readers on.
nervous, but I was like, this
Me
is my
too.
first interview, so I got to get it.
Oh, well, I'm glad y'all made
That's
it
what's
safe
up,
and
bro.
sound. I had to put my glasses on.
Yeah, I felt old. I ain't gonna lie. I think
I put
I'm
my
in the midlife
glasses.
crisis. Everything make me feel old right now. So I
Oh
put
my
my glasses
goodness.
on. Like it's better. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh goodness. Okay. Well, we're gonna jump into the meat of the interview today, to the why we here. So, Mr. J. Wellsby, you wrote a book, and it's a very interesting book. I've heard a lot about it. I've skimmed through it. It's very, very interesting. So, you all, it's called Changed. You'll never look at cheating the same way again. I'm going to read the back real quick. Jacob Richardson has it all, but will never be satisfied. His addiction is an overpowering craving that claws at his gut 24/7, 365. His wife, Kimberly, is a beautiful, loving, hardworking nurse who doesn't have a clue as to her husband's dangerous secret. Jacob is crafty in all things and supremely when it comes to cheating. He'll stop at nothing to hide his sex addiction from his wife. Why can't I say that? Sex addiction from his wife, no matter the cost. He wants his cake, will eat it, and have added dessert with it. An ambitiously handsome man, Jacob diligently pursues his quest to one day be a supermodel while training VIP clients to stretch themselves physically in every sense of the word. At a young age, tragedy brings an inheritance that could be used to bring good into the world, but Jacob has turned the money into a tool to commit all sorts of evil in the name of loving lust. His exquisite looks, natural charisma, beautiful manners, and cultured style enable Jacob to get any woman he wants. But the game gets old after a while when you're always the winner. Jacob wants to change, but trying to turn over a new leaf for the sake of his marriage is harder than he ever imagined. Cheating on his wife becomes unbearable. Jacob seeks help from every possible source, but the demon inside of him is hunting for new partners until he finds the one thing that will shut down his cravings for good and possibly end his life. Join Jacob on his journey to change. You will never look at cheating the same way. Ooh, that's a lot, Jay. That's a lot.
Like, he doing a lot while he married.
And let me just say also, for your first book, this is amazing quality.
Yeah.
The writing is great. It's 200 and almost 300 pages. The storyline is good. You're a storyteller by nature. I can tell that. Like, does it come natural or?
I think it's like a childhood thing.
Okay.
Just always being quiet, so I would probably sit there and think of stories in my head. When I was younger, when I used to have my action figures, like
Mhm.
G.I. Joe, Transformers, I
Okay.
would come up with a whole movie scene with them. So I guess it just grew with me.
Wow. All right. Well, let's.
did that too, though,
Ah!
bro. I did that too. I had a counselor grade school and everything.
You got a whole story.
Yeah, I did that too. I did that too. Just what you see in the movies, we did that as kids.
Yeah.
Kids don't play with action figures like they used to. But,
No, the video
I
games
had-
took over.
I had 8 of them. They all had a position. They was all strategically placed. And then at some point, I was gonna get to them, and they was gonna all interact.
Ah.
Yeah, I know about that, bro.
Now, let's talk about Jacob and Kimberly's relationship. I feel like it's relatable, like just with girl talk, me and my girls. We'll have either whether we consider ourselves or know someone who's a well put together woman, gorgeous, got a great career. This young lady, Kimberly, she's a nurse, has plenty to bring to the table, but the man just can't act right. Jacob. No, no. So, tell me what really was your perspective when you began to write? Were you coming from real life experiences? Is any of it Mr. J. Wellsby in the story? Tell us a little bit where your thought process was.
Well, my thought process in writing this book was like inspired.
Okay.
Jacob is a model.
Okay.
So I have a friend of mine that's an actual model. And when I used to see him, like he used to come to the barber shop in Miami when I used to cut hair down there.
Okay.
And I would just see this guy change one woman after the next.
Okay.
And he was like really into himself. And it made me think like, damn, why women keep picking him?
Okay.
And I was like, well, you know what? He fits all the criteria that women like. Tall, dark, and handsome.
Okay.
So with that being said, I was like, okay, I understand why women keep picking him, but they're not looking at him for substance. They're looking at him as the symbol of what a man should look like in their eyes or in their mind. So
Okay.
that's what kind of inspired the story of, women sometimes choose their problems.
That's a good perspective. And we touched about that a little bit on the male panel that we had. Can we really keep pointing the finger, or when do we begin to take responsibility for the partner that we choose, or for what we keep allowing, and all that kind of good stuff? So let's kind of talk about this sex addiction. So, and I don't know how far we want to dive into it without giving the story away completely, because at the end of the day, we want you all to reach out to Mr. J. Wellsby and get you a copy of this amazing, sexy novel, Changed. And okay, so do y'all know anybody with a sex addiction, or have you experienced or encountered that before?
Um, I think I didn't LL say he had one. That like I know
I
about
don't know. That's
the
a good question.
public ones.
Okay,
I thought
okay,
I don't want to put that on him. I
okay.
thought he said he had one, and I thought Kurt Franklin said he had
I
one.
heard about Kurt Franklin saying he was addicted to pornographic
That's
videos.
not the same.
I guess it's similar,
I
yeah.
would say it's the
Yeah, it's
same.
very
Yeah,
similar, yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
I don't want to put it on L. I thought I heard that.
Okay,
But
okay.
I stuttered or I stopped like that because I wanted to say it was a big thing in my life, in my marriage. My wife kept throwing that out there and kept saying that to me, and we
Okay.
both had to research and get an understanding of what this phrase is and what it means. And I don't think I classify or qualify to be one. I think today she might laugh and still agree, but I don't think I'm one.
Okay. Well, Jay, you tell me your thoughts on it, and I'm actually going to look it up. I want to see
Look it up. Yeah,
what
look it up.
is a sex addict specifically.
Because I think we all enjoy and love it. Just let's figure out what the computer says about
Right.
what's an addict.
What's your thoughts, Jay? Have you encountered anyone personally, or do you know anybody, or would you even say for yourself, like Deontay was saying that he has been told, or
Okay, so let's first identify the difference between a woman that has a sex addiction and a man that
okay,
has a sex addiction.
Great stuff.
Because most people don't know there's two different labels. So let me ask y'all a question. If I say nympho to you all, what you all think about? A nymphomaniac, what do you all think
I personally think of someone who loves and enjoys sex at any given time.
I kind of think it's one and the same as a sex addict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
about?
So an acronym for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the biggest mistake now.
Okay,
Y'all
school
finna
us.
hear from me.
School
A
us.
black man.
Okay.
Educate you all. So you will know that only a woman can be a nymphomaniac or
Okay.
a nympho.
Mm.
A man, on the other hand, is what you call a satyriasis.
I did not know that.
So there's
Okay.
two different
Let me learn.
terminologies
Okay.
for men and
Put me
women,
on. Put me on.
but they mean the same thing. They mean that somebody that they have a sex addiction. Like you have some people that their sex addiction is so bad that they would miss work to have sex.
Okay.
Do you recall like being in high school? Because people did this in high school. There were some people that would skip school to go have sex.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have people that will come up to your job and have sex with you on your break. You have some people cannot function correctly without having an orgasm every day.
Mm.
every day, whether they have it through sex or they masturbate. That is a part of the addiction. And a lot of people are not aware of it because they've never been diagnosed. How many people go to a therapist and ask them, like, hey, do I have a sex addiction? I do this, I do that.
Right.
You know, how many times you have people that go out on a date and just because a woman have her cleavage out, they're thinking about sex. Like, they look at her breast and that is sexual to them. You know what I'm saying? You have women that walk around the gym and see a man in the sweatpants, and if he have a print, they're looking at it in a sexual manner. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But most people don't reveal those things. They keep them in their head. So they don't know if they have a sex addiction or not.
And especially not to the extreme of saying, well, I missed work for it. Or, you know, I missed some whatever important something, engagement or whatever the case is. Like knowing if it's actually to the point of interrupting or taking over your life. You know?
That part.
Right.
That part.
Yes.
That part.
Yeah,
Because
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, looking at the cleavage or even the women looking at the print, I think it's the thought process of now I'm ready for that. Now I'm in that mood. I think we all, you know, by nature, that's what it was worn for, you know, to attract or to appease whoever, herself as well, because I just had a big old argument like that. So herself as well and as the man. But to say right then we need to get up from the table if we at dinner and we need to go in the bathroom like they try to push off in all the movies and that type of sex or that type of lust, I think, yeah, that's an addiction, that type of thing. But if we setting up for the night, then, you know, we setting up for the night. You know what I mean? We starting off slow.
You got to think about the telephone now is bringing more people that have sex addictions.
Okay.
You got to recall when we was younger, like you had to get VCR tape, pop in.
Yeah.
You took it
Now,
back with that
all
one.
you have
Find
to
somebody
do is
book stash.
Go on your phone.
Yeah, it's at your
And you can go to
fingertips.
porn sites. That's creative. You have Instagram where girls are always showing their body. So you're getting a sexual thought constantly
Yeah.
per day.
Mm-hmm.
I could be sitting there doing work and I can get on my phone and like, I'm going Instagram real quick. It's always going to be a woman in the baby suit.
Okay.
Always going to be a woman with her butt out.
Okay.
So you got to think about it. Like, society is sort of kind of creating sex addicts as well.
Mm-hmm. So, by definition, sex addict is described as a compulsive need to perform sexual acts in order to achieve the kind of fix, quote unquote, that a person with alcohol use disorder gets from a drink or someone with an opiate use disorder gets from using opiates. So I think we also have to realize or recognize that an addiction can come in so many different forms. I think that sometimes we can be naive or closed-minded to think that it's only a substance abuse or narcotic abuse. But we abuse food, you know what I mean? We abuse a lot of different things. So once we're open-minded to receiving or acknowledging, I think that can put us on a whole different perspective to get into the root of the problem, finding the solution for the problem, or whatever the case may be. But this is really, really interesting. You know, we had spoke earlier in the week, and you had asked me if I read it. I'm ready to read it because it's really, really interesting from what I, picked through. So let's dive in a little bit more about the characters. So Jacob and Kimberly, Mr. and Mrs. Richardson. Tell us a little bit about their foundation in regards to how long they were married. I don't even know if you want to say specifically. I don't want to, like I said, tell the story per se, but tell us a little bit about this couple.
Okay, well, Jacob is a model.
Mm-hmm.
He started off as a track star at Bethune-Cookman, but he had got a major injury. He tore his Achilles.
Okay.
So with that, he had to end his track career, and he went on to modeling. Very nice looking man. Works out. Very conscious of what he eats. Well dressed type of guy. Kimberly, on the other hand, is more a plain Jane.
Okay.
She's a nurse. She's beautiful. The one thing I did with her is I dressed her in a way where she's not overexposing her body, but she has a nice shape.
Okay.
She's a very
And this would be her,
lovely-
right? This would be her on the cover, correct or no?
I mean, that's the image.
Okay,
That's
all
what
right.
they-
Well, I know for your
Yeah.
story, yes. I know this is not
Yes.
Kimberly for real,
Yeah.
but
I actually wrote Kimberly for me. And a lot
Oh,
of people don't know that.
okay.
When I was writing her as I would want my wife.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, ladies. So you definitely need to read the book so you can see what
I mean,
Mr.
they're not
West.
gonna be perfect. She has her ups and downs, but overall, her personality, the way she goes about things, that would be how I would like my wife.
Okay. All right. So, I'm skimming through as we're talking. I like the first chapter. I'm just going off the topics or the titles. A Kiss on the Forehead. That is so sweet and innocent to such a super sexy novel. Let's talk about chapter one, just briefly. So, A Kiss on the Forehead. What exactly does that entail for chapter one?
Well, a kiss on the forehead is really deceit. That's when I was talking to my publisher, which I am still self-published, but I went to a publishing company to publish the book. I was like, find me a picture of a guy kissing a woman on the forehead.
Okay.
And the kiss on the forehead is deceit.
You saying deceit?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure I missed. Okay, yeah.
Deceit. Yes. That's what it's for.
Okay. And so a lot of people look at that as super innocent, sweet. It can also be very intimate too, depending, I guess, on who it's coming from.
Exactly.
Um, and so, would that be and that's also the cover for everybody that's watching on Facebook Live. So would that be the storyline for Kimberly? She's the innocent sweet, and that's what she sees in her marriage, not knowing and being completely blinded to what's going on outside of her home.
Well, the way I created Jacob is like a skilled cheater.
Okay.
But with anything, he chose Kim as his trophy wife.
Okay.
She was everything he needed. But he never revealed to her his addiction. But at the same time, like he has his problems, he still thinks as a traditional man.
Okay.
As a woman or being married sometimes is a status thing.
You was about to say something.
I'm listening.
You
I'm
listening?
Yeah. Let me
It's
see. Can I see this
interesting.
one?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, let me see.
It's really interesting. Like, I mean, it has me in awe because for one, I think it's, even though this is a fictional story, this is real. Like, I heard of, I don't know personally, like I've heard of this type of relationship and the man going through, and I'm sure it happens even with the woman as well, like we mentioned earlier, goes through such extreme measures, like you said, to get this fixed. And then you have your significant other at home that doesn't have a clue. Like how they say, living an alternative lifestyle, or having
life.
two families, if you will.
Yeah.
So, give us a little bit of a insight on the story. Does it get fixed? Does he have a child outside of the home? Can we have a little meat to the story? Like
Those things I would not.
You would not
It
reveal.
was
Okay.
story.
It was story. Okay.
But what I will say is that he does look for help.
He does.
He understands that he has a problem and he loves his wife so much that he seeks help. He never tells her that he's looking for help, but while they're together, he looks for help to get better. Because overall, if you read the book, he's actually a good husband. A lot of women would never understand this about a man. Some of us cheat, right? Because that deals with childhood issues that we have not addressed. A lot of our fathers cheated on the mother. A lot of our uncles, a lot of our friends, we grew up around players. So that's what we understand growing up. But at the same time, we do want somebody to call our home. And we do go out there and get in relationships that are probably unfair to the women that we're with. But at the same time, you got a lot of us that know how to treat a woman even though we mistreat her.
So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's kind of dive in because you just said a whole mouthful right there.
Man.
You just said a mouthful, and it's real. It really is. So, okay, we have this ideal significant other, boyfriend, husband, whatever the situation is, domestic partnership. We live together, and he provides. He lets me know that he loves me. He's handsome. He's loving. He makes me happy, but he still steps out. And we can even talk about it on the flip side so that you guys can speak from a male's perspective if you have a woman. And sometimes that puts a whole different, I know, spin on it, because they say men can't take a woman that cheats, even though we may take a man back, time and time again. But what is y'all's thoughts on that? Like, do you want to speak on it strictly from it being a man? Because do we just automatically say that a woman wouldn't be welcome back? So is that even a fair analysis to say the two?
As Minister Rosie said when she was on the show, everybody's tolerance level is different.
Okay. Okay.
So, I mean, what I can take, Jay might can't take, and vice versa.
Okay.
Jay, I mean, like, cause I've sat with people, my mentor for one, I sat with my mentor and he told me when he came and he was talking to me and my wife, he knows of a couple where the wife, I think they called them Strawberries where he was from. He was from Cleveland, Ohio. And he said the wife of this person left out and he had found her in the crack house, like in the prostitute house or whatever you want to call it,
Right.
several times, drug out, crying, kicking, screaming,
Wow.
several times, to the point where she stopped finally, and they are the happiest couple he has seen. And I think that's been like 30 years ago, something like that. But he's still there. He was able to deal with that. Me personally, I think my mind will keep messing with me. I might have didn't see her doing anything in the act, but my mind it'll go crazy.
Yeah. How many men?
It'll
How
play.
often?
It'll play so many different scenarios in my head. I pull out my hair. So I don't know. I right now I can say I know I couldn't do it.
Right.
Right this second.
What's your thoughts on it, Jay? Would you do thick or thin, for better or worse? Like.
Well, in order for me to write a book like this, that obviously means I've been on both sides.
Okay.
So I've been on the fence of I done cheated throughout the whole relationship. I done also been on the side where a woman has cheated on me, and I accepted it.
Okay.
Sat down, talked about it. I was ready to go, but I was still emotionally attached to her.
Okay.
So we ended up talking, trying to see if it could work out. But the one thing I have come to learn about that is when a woman steps out, her feelings are involved most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the difficulty of a man taking a woman back, because she feels something with that other guy.
Right.
A man, on the other hand, when we cheat, I'm not going to say all the time, it's more or less like, I just want to hit.
Want to snack. You just want to snack.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But
Snack, right.
it takes a build-up with a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And build up, and then it just gets
They've
to
been
the
talking,
point where
texting.
That endangers his self-esteem, his security. That kills that. I ain't gonna say kill it, but now he got to work, or he got to let it go, because now his ego is involved, his pride is involved, because that's what he feel like.
Right.
It took a lot for me to get you. That's why I put you in the position you're in, as far as so special to me. I made you my wife, because you played it the right way.
Right.
I ain't get it the first night, all that good stuff. So for him to get it, I'm kind of thinking it went the same way. Okay. So you're invested.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, that hurt. That hurt. We want y'all to see it from our perspective, which was, man, baby, this one no different than me going to see a movie Saturday night. It was what it was. For you, it's like, I don't know, you went to Vegas, and it's just these memories and this foundation you establishing with, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a whole different ball game.
And go ahead.
I also think sex with women always starts in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a dude thinks if he got money, if he do this, do that, is what get him. But I think a lot of stuff starts in the woman's mind.
Yeah.
It's
mental. Yeah.
It's mental.
Absolutely.
So how I look at it, it's like mentally she put herself in that bed with me. Us, it's like, it's physical with us.
So with that perspective, are you saying that it wasn't that whole, it just happened? Because she really put some thought into
She
it
did.
and should have
did.
really talked herself
She
out
did.
almost is what you're saying? Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Like,
So I want to ask you this, Siobhan.
Okay.
Is it true? Because I heard this a lot. Women know within the first like 5 seconds whether or not they
they
can
do.
sleep with you. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
with that being said, there is no it just happened, because if he even just tapped you or turned you around and was trying to go for a kiss, the only way this is gonna happen is if this is something she wanted.
Right, right.
Fat guy can't make a. Oh no, I don't say it like that. I'm sorry. An unattractive person to this woman couldn't just do these things that someone who she's attracted to could do and pull it off.
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I say this all the time. You can have sex with a woman on the first night. I believe that wholeheartedly. Within the first week, first night. The reason being is
Yeah, I got. Yeah, I was waiting.
she has already chosen you that way. It's up to you to fuck her.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
She
It
already
is.
knows this is something I'm willing to do.
I'm willing to do. I
Yeah.
agree.
You
100%.
just got to
Like he
not
said.
be
Yeah.
stupid.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Men, on the other hand, like, we'll pick 10 women a day.
Yeah.
I do this scenario all the time. Why I think it's different from men and women. Okay, I can try to talk to 10 women per week, and all 10 of them can say yes or no, right?
Yeah.
Let's turn it around on men. Like, outside of a woman being booty ugly, no shape, if 10 women try to holler at that man per week, he gonna holler at least 8 of them. 8 to 9. Because she has chosen him. I always tell people, women make the choice with who they want to be. Hold on, here you go. Women sleep with, well, men take what they can get. Women choose who they want to sleep with. Period, point
Yeah,
blank.
period, point blank. They can
We
walk out the
take
door.
what we can get. Whatever
Yeah.
a man, like, if you so happen to like indulge in something, we gonna take it. Women, on the other hand, make the choice, man. They do. That's why I sit there and I look at it all the time. I'm like, you choose your problems. You know what I'm saying? It might be, everybody be like, oh, I'm looking for a good man to be with. I'd be like, that's bullshit. Everybody is looking for what they want. And then they turn it good.
You
Get what
try
I'm
to mold
saying?
it, or you try to. Yeah.
So you can meet a man, he's 5'5". He's a great man, whatever. But if she already put in her head, I like tall men. No matter how good that 5'5" dude is, he's never gonna be good enough for her. You got the other dude, he's 6'3", terrible, but he fit the description, so therefore he's good.
She gonna make them good in her mind.
In her mind.
Wow.
In her mind, that other dude, he's never gonna be good because she has already physically taken him out the picture. I could also do that with women. I could be like, I could have a good woman come up to me and she don't have no butt at all. My preference is butt. But she's a great woman. But since physically I've already took out the picture,
Yeah,
she's never going to have a chance to be good with me.
with you, right?
So, is that more likely though for men? Because I think, and from my perspective anyway, as a woman, I am very open physically. Like I almost don't have a whole cookie cutter to appearance, in regards to the exterior. I love the way a man treats me. So that right there is essential. But as a man, is that even possible? Is it that whole cliche, like I have to be physically attracted to you, physically first before anything else?
I don't think everybody's lost in that.
Okay.
I don't think everybody's lost in that. I've had some conversations with people, and I've seen some relationships, and they're great.
Okay.
And it's because I think the man wised up and matured and took all that other crap out.
Okay.
And this woman keeps his house feeling and smelling good, and it's clean, and the food is always good. And every time she addresses him, it's in the sweetest voice. He's every name and acronym that's of pleasantry.
Right.
And I don't. If you ever see him unhappy, it has nothing to do with her.
Okay.
So I respect it. If you find happiness where you can find it. But
Yeah.
you got to be smart about it.
Yeah.
I know happiness is a feeling, but you can't allow your feeling to dictate your future because feelings are a temporary thing.
Okay.
So, just
I agree with
if
that.
she's a good girl, you need to wed.
Okay.
You need to wed. Sometimes you might can just work on that butt. You know what I mean? Some things you can
A
do.
lot of people, they're taking,
it's-
when they're
hey,
taking,
man,
the,
it's some things
they're
you
taking
can
the
do.
fat off their stomach and putting it down
Hey.
there, so you can build
Okay.
them now.
Or you can just always go to that position. You can work on that. You can work on that.
Okay. What's your thought on it, Jay? You feel like you got to be physically attracted before you even entertain anything else, or
With age, I done changed a lot.
okay?
So I'm at the point where I'm settled mentally. Like, to be honest, I do want to get married. Like, I do look at that as something I should do as a responsible man. At some point, I should solidify a woman. Like, I can't keep playing the game with her. Like, I'm going to be knocking you down for years, but I ain't going to never marry you type of thing.
Right.
So I'm very what you call intentionally dating.
Okay.
And what I
Good.
mean by that is I'm not looking per se for so much physical stuff, but I have to be attracted to you.
Right. She
If
can't
we
be
finna
a werewolf. Right.
do forever,
Uh-huh.
I got to be like, it's something
Yeah.
that keeps me going.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So physically, you just got to have something.
Okay. That's
just
fair.
the truth.
That's fair.
That's just the truth.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But at the end of the day, how a woman treats me now
Yes. There
is
you
way
go.
more important. So it could be a badass woman, have all the physical things that I like about her, but if she has a like piss poor attitude, we're not going to make it because you got to understand my self-esteem is high.
There you go. Yeah.
So I can't be involved with no woman that goes against how I feel about myself.
Okay.
So if you're not going to build me up as I build you up, there's no way I'm going to be with you
Okay.
because you're tearing me down.
Yeah.
So guess what I do? My relationship start faltering after a while because I'm not getting what I need. I am a Leo. So I don't know if you know about my sign, but we are natural born leaders type thinking people. We're very dominant. We feel good about ourselves. So if I'm not getting that energy from a woman, no matter what she is or who she is, I'm not going to be able to work well with her because she's not feeding what I need.
Okay.
So if I know what she needs, I have to feed that. You get what I'm saying? Instead of taking away from it. So, yeah.
This is good conversation, y'all. You have to make sure that you check out Changed. Here's a copy of the book. You'll never look at cheating the same way again. A quick rundown, real quick. You have Mr. and Mrs. Richardson. They're a married couple, very put together. From the outside looking in, looks like a picture perfect couple, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a little secret, or should I say, he has a little secret, and
It ain't little.
he,
It ain't little. It is.
you're right. It's not little. He has a major secret. He's a sex addict.
Okay, man.
Ah.
I
Now, Jay, tell everybody how can they get a copy of this book?
Okay. You can definitely go online. I actually have a website where you can get a signed copy. So basically, what you do is you just purchase it on my website, which is www.jwelsby. The Welsby is spelled WELSBY author.com, and I will send you a personally signed autograph from me. And you can also get my book on Amazon, which is on ebook for $4.99, which you can read on your phone, or you can buy a paperback. And Amazon will send you the book. So whichever way you feel safe, I will send the book out to you. I also have an Audible book coming out soon. And I also have part 2 of the book. You have to read part 1 first to understand part 2.
So
okay,
part
okay.
2 is going to still have the same characters, or is it going to be a completely different narrative, or?
Well, I'll just say this without giving away part 2.
Okay.
Okay, so in this book,
Mhm.
Jacob is arrogant. he is arrogant. Can't tell him nothing. Part two, God humbles him.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
You guys, make sure that you follow Jay Wellsby on all his social media platforms. Like I said, he's an amazing um, storyteller and author. Um, as an indie author myself, I've connected with quite a few. This is a quality book, you guys.
This your first and only book right now?
This is my first book.
Yeah.
I moved to Atlanta from Miami to write this book.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
it came out very well. Like she
Yes.
said, it's great quality. And it's a thick book for it to be your
Right,
first book.
right.
Yes, I actually grew up reading thick books.
Okay.
So the first book I ever read was by John Wilson. I think it was The Partner. And most of the books after that were thick. I read the autobiography of Malcolm X. This was a thick book.
Which just means you like details and you like description and you like to go into depth in whatever you read. Sound like.
I'm long-winded when
Yeah,
it comes to
yeah.
anything. Like
Okay.
my favorite movie is like Godfather and Titanic. You know, I like long, drawn out.
You like
I like to
it,
see
right.
things build up.
Depth. You like depth.
So, as an independent author, what has your experience been with the cliche, especially in our community? Black folks don't read. What would you say to people that say that? Have you experienced it, or?
Oh man,
Such
you about to get me
derogatory-
shot up.
derogatory.
You about to get me shot up.
Uh
And I don't know if you remember the day I posted that where they told my butt up. So
But
this
it's
is,
a real cliche, though. First,
so this is how I look at things. I do a lot of research, and I look at African American authors compared to Caucasian authors, and Caucasian authors are killing African American authors themselves. So I was looking up the lady I named, I think J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series.
oh,
She's the first billion-dollar author.
okay.
So when I was looking at, I was like, let me look up the top 10 authors, like no color. I could not find an African American author.
In the top 10.
Top 10, top 20, not even top 30, top 40. We're not there. So it kind of sometimes discouraged me, but I'm one person to say that I can do it. That's just the Leo in me. Like, I'm one of them dudes, like, I think highly of myself. So I be looking at statistics like, okay, that's them. That's not me. I'm going to thug my way through. I've been able to sell over 3,000 copies on my own without marketing. Paying for marketing. So I'm just saying, like, if I get the right team around me, start doing more radio shows, being on television, my book will grow. People with influence start talking about my book. It's going to grow. It's a good enough story to be a movie. It's a good enough story. If you read it, it has all of the things you need to come up with a story script, a storyline, and then there's a part two to it. There's so many lessons in this book. There's so many jewels in this book. People think the book is just about sex and erotica. It's bigger than that. And I wanted to make people more conscious.
What are your thoughts? And this is something I've done. I haven't gotten any results back from it yet, but after hearing what you just said, it kind of reminded me or triggered. I mailed a copy of each of my book to influential people. So to Tyler Perry, to Steve Harvey, to Oprah, Ellen, just a list of them. Would you consider doing that, or not really? Or what were your thoughts on doing something
My
like that?
main thing is I'm trying to force their hands. And what I
Okay.
mean by force their hands is I just keep getting exposed. Keep
Okay.
getting exposed.
You want
And
them to
one
pick
day,
it up on their own.
um,
I was just saying, you want them to pick it up on their own.
I mean, if
They
you
gonna
sit
come to
there and
you.
watch Social
Okay.
Network with
Okay.
Mark Zuckerberg, he knew what he had.
Mm.
And you have to understand that when you have something, you have to know what you have.
Okay.
And it's worth messing with.
Okay.
So my main thing is keep pushing. That's why you always see me posting my book on Instagram, Facebook. People holding my book.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pushing the idea because it's bigger than just the book.
Okay.
I'm actually selling me and my ideas
Yeah.
about being an entrepreneur, coming up with multiple sources of income. So it's bigger than a book.
Mm-hmm.
This is something I did.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's bigger than that. Like, I'm really trying to teach financial literacy.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah. Now, when can we expect part 2 to drop?
I'm reading the first phase of the edits right now.
Okay.
So once I get done with the edits, then I'm gonna take a photo shoot. I'm gonna do my own photo shoot for my next book cover because I don't know if you knew what happened with this.
Yeah, I heard. Yes,
Yeah,
you
somebody
said.
else used the cover, but they did some kind of red stuff around it to make it look different. And when I talked to my publishing company, I found like that person had the right to do that. So with that being said, I said, you know what? I'll do my own original copy.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's good. Um, I'm reading the comments. I'm sorry, I got distracted. Miss Rosier is watching our guest from last week. Shout out to her. Hi.
Shout out.
Yes, Trinika. Shout out to everybody watching in your comments. Hi, Sean, Akina, everybody, Miss Trina. So, we have our regular listeners and everybody
So
that.
you say you doing intentional dating. That's what you call it. How is that working? Like, how you go about that? Just is that a term or phrase you made up yourself, or that's
No, I'm gonna be
that's a
honest.
2020 thing?
One of my clients,
Yeah.
I swear to God, this is a true story, y'all. He's kind of like Jacob Richardson, but he done changed. Dude got money. He's tall, educated, a great dad.
Got all the ingredients.
Oh man, everything.
Okay.
Right. So him and he used to cheat on his ex all the time. Because I used to come in there in the barber shop and talk to me all the time.
That's why they ex. That's why it's the ex.
It wasn't even that. It was just he had sex addiction.
Okay.
Okay.
He had sex addiction.
Has he said that, or that what you call it?
I mean, it's obvious. Like me writing a book and me listening to him, I'm like, it goes.
It adds up. Okay.
And I almost at times, God blessed me with him. Because I started writing my book when he started coming to see me at the barbershop.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So with that being said, him and the woman separated. Now he was hurt. Now imagine this. You're cheating the whole relationship and then you finally go through a breakup and you hurt. I swear the audacity of people. Right? So with that being said, he ends up meeting this lady.
Okay.
And he came to the barbershop one day and he was talking to me, but he sounds so different about this woman compared to the other one.
Oh, he was in love.
So, but prior to that, he
Uh-huh.
told me something. He said, man, Jerry, I'm going to get this house. He got a big ass house. When he got a house, he said, I'm going to have me a child
Okay.
and I'm going to get married. Within a year and a half, what that man told me, he did.
Okay.
So I remember one day I was cutting his hair. I was just sitting there thinking. I was like, damn, this man said everything he gonna do, and he did it. So I asked him, I say, man, bro, I remember when you told me you're gonna get a house, you're gonna have a baby, and you're gonna get married. I say, how did that happen? He said, because I was intentionally dating.
He knew what he wanted. He was going to get it.
He was not going to accept anything less than what he wanted.
And I have to agree and say that I'm in a similar position because, we talked about before where I think sometimes in Atlanta, women have a cliche of we go out to dinner because we want a free meal. And so I don't have time for that. I can buy my own food. So if I'm going out with somebody, I'm genuinely interested. And as put intentionally dating, not just because you offered me, a steak dinner tonight. Because again, I could buy my own. So if my time is something I can't get back. So if I'm giving you my 2 hours for this evening or however long, I am like legitimately, genuinely, and as you would say, intentionally, right?
What else can we do?
Exactly, yeah. Because I'm totally fine going to dinner by myself. Like, no problem with that whatsoever.
You sit there by yourself?
Absolutely. Every day, all day. Absolutely, yeah. So if I've invited or you've invited me to join you, you know what I mean? So you taking up all my little space.
Different than what I normally do.
Yes, I'm legitimately interested. And I know a lot, like they said, it's almost a cliche that women in Atlanta have.
I think Atlanta is getting a bad rep off of the younger generation altogether. I think the younger generation is doing a lot of these things and is giving us a bad rep. But what's messing it up, I think the older people are copying the younger people.
Okay.
And so that's what's making it look like it's just all
everybody, right?
Yeah, it's really the young folks, but the older folks is copying the young folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got about 3 minutes before we wrap it up. Tell everybody again, Jay, how they can follow you, how they can reach you, how they can grab a copy of this book, and about how soon can we expect the second one?
Okay, you can find my book, Change You Will Never Look at Cheating the Same Way Again, on my website, which is www.jwellsbyauthor.com. Hope y'all can see it. You gotta spell, a lot of people can't spell, but here you go. Wellsby, right? That's it. And you can find me on Amazon, and you can get my ebook for $4.99. You can read it on your phone. You can also get a paper book off Amazon. I have an audio book out there for people that don't have time to read, coming out soon. I'm also working on Change Part 2, so it's a sequel to this book. So you have to read this one to understand the second book.
And if you missed any of that, I am sure each and every one of you are following Bonnie in the City. So I will definitely post that information. For all the people that do that anyway, go through my friends list, look for Jerry J. Wellsby, connect with him, inbox him, whatever it takes. Make sure you get a copy by any means necessary.
Show your ride, show your ride. This
Yeah.
is your boy Deontay. You can follow me on Instagram at Mr. Melody, Mr. Melody 33. Follow me anytime. You can see when the next show, see who's going to be on the show. Please download the app, Hits 92.3, so that you can tune into our internet radio. It's the real definition.
That's
of
right.
internet
Tell him
radio.
again, Deontay.
Oh, she want me to tell y'all again. Download the app, Hits 92.3. This is the real definition of internet radio.
Yes.
See y'all next Sunday, same time, same place.
It's been a pleasure. One other thing before we wrap it up. I got an event coming up, y'all. I've been a little bit slacking this past week because I had so much going on, but I need to push it out there. So, with the whole quarantine and everything going on, I kind of piggybacked off of that. And so I'm doing a women's retreat called Quarantine and Pray. And ironically, I looked online and I was looking for images to use on my flyer. I saw almost every nationality except for women in color quarantine and praying. So just the mask on or something to that symbol through the COVID-19. I didn't see any black women, and I thought we was the epitome of praying women. So I just thought that was pretty interesting. Anywho, long story short, because we about to wrap it up, you guys, September the 25th through the 27th, we are going to have an amazing time. It also happens to be my birthday weekend. I'll be 38. 8 is the number for new beginnings. And it means a lot of other stuff too. So it's going to all tie in. We're going to take communion together. We're going to pray together. We're going to have an amazing dinner together. You guys follow me. Find out all the details, get your tickets, or you can also go online, www.bonnieinthecity.com. It's been a pleasure, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place.